Gordon Strachan, until very recently Scotland international football manager. Your departure from the scene has been followed quickly by your skipper, Scott Brown. Now, I'm not going to make any, despite being the presenter of the Scottish football show on talkSPORT recently, I can't pretend to know much about Scott
Parker. Yeah.
Scott Brown, except seeing him squaring up to people and sticking his chest and his chin out while playing for Celtic Football Club and Scotland. You're in a better position to me. Tell me about him as a man and as a player, and what he's done for Scottish football.
First of all, I'm glad he was sticking his chest into people and staring at people when I was the manager, because he made me a better manager, that's for sure.
How?
Because his performance on the pitch, and we go down.
Despite being the presenter of the Scottish football show on talkSPORT recently, I can't pretend to know much about Scott Parker.
Yeah.
Scott Brown, except seeing him squaring up to people and sticking his chest and his chin out while playing for Celtic Football Club and Scotland. You're in a better position to me. Tell me about him as a man and as a player, and what he's done for Scottish football.
First of all, I'm glad he was sticking his chest into people and staring at people when I was the manager, because he made me a better manager, that's for sure.
How?
Because his performance on the pitch, and we go down to players against like Strachan and things like that. Great players make a difference. So he was a great player, but not also that, he could drag more out of people with his performances and what he does. Small things like Scotland were playing England this year, and we had boys that had 4 weeks off, 5 weeks off, and we decided to do extra running. Fitness coach was having a heart attack. Should we do this? I said, listen, this is what we're doing. We're doing these runs. They're very hard. So I had 10 players who had won the championship with 4 weeks off. So I had 10 to train. I've got a squad of 25. And as we're setting this up, Bruni says to me, what are you doing? I went, you know what I'm doing. This running is very hard. He went, I'll have a bit of that. Now he'd played, I think, about 50 games that season. Then he did it. Then Snoddy says, I'll have a bit of that. Then we had 25 players doing it. Only because the captain says, I'm having a bit of this, right? We're going to do this. So he led that training session, and he led every training session like that by putting his stamp on the training session. So it made it easier for me. I never needed to ask for any player to do any more, because the captain pushed them to, or he embarrassed them sometimes, said, this is what I'm doing, do you want to join? Never had an injury. I knew he had one. But you say, have a day off? No, I'm coming. I'm the captain. Out he goes. All that kind of stuff. So that's what he gave. And he's gave us some wonderful moments, and he's grown as a footballer. I mean,
tell us about him as a footballer, because that's as a leader and a man.
As a young man, he used to drive forward and score goals and run with the ball. Then he's developed into up and down, up I can do up and down. Now he's mostly sitting in the back four. So he's had to learn the game. And Brendan's took him to another level in terms of where he should be going when they're passing the ball out from the back. So he's done all that. So he's in intelligence, and people don't think he's intelligent. He is intelligent because he stares at you with the eyes. Because I thought there was something wrong with him when I first got him. At half time, he wouldn't blink for 15 minutes. I said to the doctor, there's something wrong with that guy. I could call him the worst player in the world or the best player, and he just stared at me, and I thought, this is unnerving, this. But once I got to know him, then that was part of his makeup. But I've got to say, again, we're talking about people in the tunnel. It's like that Roy Keane thing. When you're in the tunnel with Roy Keane, you think, thank goodness you're here. And Bruni was the same with Scotland. And he didn't have it easy at first at Celtic, because I'm sure the Celtic fans must have thought, oh, it's another one of these rubbish signings. But he's come on.
Can I ask you an impertinent question? Would he have made it if he I mean, Celtic, great football club, of course.
Yeah.
Would he have made it in the Premier League?
Yeah.
Come down here.
Yeah, different stages. He has the power to play in the Premier League. He had the pace when he was younger to play in the Premier League, and he also had this thing. No matter who we played against, he wasn't scared of anybody. He respected them. Played against Pirlo one night, AC Milan, the great AC Milan side with Kaká and Seedorf, and we thought Pirlo has to be stopped. Pirlo has to be stopped. He's averaged 152 passes a game. He needs to be stopped if you've got to win the game. Bruni went on top of him. He only had 70 odd passes. We won the game of football. Well, the rest of the boys played well, but Bruni, he killed the chief, and the rest fell.
Have Scotland got anything like that?
He was a funny character as well.
Oh, yeah.
Did you seen it at the weekend, where the guy who's tackled him gets sent off for a horrendous tackle. He halves him in two.
Against Aberdeen, yeah.
He's on the ground, the guy comes in and whacks it intentionally off his head. Brownie jumps up, and you think he scored a goal. he's celebrating the fact that he's been able to handle a tackle and get whacked off the head. And at that point he jumps up and gets the Celtic fans to join him in the celebration of him winning a tackle. So there's a good all round.
And it's a victory that.
But a good lad. Whenever you needed a bit of support, he'd be there.
Okay. Have Scotland got a replacement for him, Gordon?
Not like him, but there is good players coming through.
Yes, but
there is good, but not like him. He's different.